It's just exactly what we need. All right, so let's find a comfortable seat to sit up straight and tall on. Give yourself a little bit of wiggling if you need some movement to kind of just allow your body to get here and now. And take a couple of deep breaths and maybe do a couple of shoulder shrugs when you inhale. Let those shoulders drop down. See if you can find your way into just getting into a comfortable posture. And then as you settle, notice your sit bones. Chances are you're sitting cross-legged the way you always sit cross-legged. And you don't have to change your legs, but just notice that you're patterned, that you have habituation in your body, which is a beautiful thing. It makes movement very efficient. So notice what's patterned in you right now. What feels very familiar and comfortable in your posture. And as you settle into the awareness of your body, let's also settle into the awareness of your breath. Let your eyes close and soften your face as much as you can. Release tension. And let your breath rise and fall. And even within the breath pattern, notice what feels familiar and comfortable. And maybe just the act of breathing deeply and slowly has changed what's familiar or comfortable in your breath. And see if you can just have a deep appreciation for the sense of familiarity, efficiency, and comfort in your body. What a gift to be, at home and to sense that you're comfortable. So even if there's places you're uncomfortable, seek the places that are comfortable. And even though we want to challenge ourselves out of the comfort zones at times, we can also just deeply appreciate the comfort of our body, the comfort of our breath, the comfort of our mind. And when you're ready, bring your hands together at your heart. And just offer an intention here. And also, let's offer some gratitude here. And then release your hands, and let's go ahead and find our way to our back. All right. So as you stretch out and lengthen your body on your mat, enjoy the subtle feeling of what it feels like to lie down and the comfort that's there. What just shifted in your body when you got horizontal, and what feels more at ease in this position than it did sitting? Maybe notice that and just allow your body to soften into it. And then stretch your arms overhead and let's enjoy This is the simple act of a good stretch. So stretching one side, stretching the other. Try to let your body kind of really revel in the sensation of stretch and the sensation of mobilizing joints. See if you can savor what feels good. And then bring your knees into your chest. Maybe a little bit of rocking to begin, a little back and forth, easing through your spine, through your hips, through your back. And then let's hang on to the knees and circle and roll a few ways each direction. So 2 or 3 or 4 times, kind of going one way and then the other. Notice even just the simplicity of what it feels like to spin your knees the more comfortable way versus the less comfortable way. All right, and then open up your knees away from each other and back in. Just enjoying the feeling of stretching through your hips. Okay. All right, and then find neutral. Grab your right knee, hug it in, left leg long, and let's say hello to our feet. Give your feet a good roll, your ankles moving, your toes moving, all the bones in your feet finding a little articulation. Be mindful to rest your head and shoulders. There's no work that's needed there. Find your breath. And then we'll take this into a twist. Cross the right leg over to the left and stretch open through your spine. And feel free to slide your hand on the ground to have some movement through your shoulder if you'd like. And then coming back to your knee, pick up your head, give it a good squeeze, and then switch sides. Head down, left knee into your chest, move around in your feet, rolling through your ankles, wiggling your toes, feeling some movement. And again, savor anything that you're feeling. See if you can put your mind's eye right into your feet or maybe into the way your hip feels or your knee, anything that feels good. And then we'll cross that left knee over to the right, find a twist. Stretch open through your spine. Feel free to move your hand on the ground to find some mobility in your shoulder and in your pecs. What feels good? See if you can savor it. Let your head rest down. And then open up into a star, reaching your limbs really wide. We'll roll your wrists and roll your fingers and breathe and feel expansive in your in-breath. And as you exhale, knees into your chest. Okay. Keep your head up, right leg straightens on the ground. Tuck that left knee in. And then we'll tuck the right knee in. Feel your core engage a little bit here. One more time, left knee in, head still up, and then release your head down and find the ground with all your limbs resting. Soften through your skull and melt what you can. Let your body rest on the ground and feel the spilling out of your body, that you can let everything kind of fall into the ground. All right, and then stretch open through a star. Draw your knees into your chest. Let's roll to the side and come up to your hands and your knees. As you find all fours, we'll start to find some cat-cows. All right, so taking your time, letting your spine move, arching and rounding, breathing fully. And what does it feel like to mobilize through your ribs, through your vertebrae? Is your breath the leader of your movement? And then any kind of movement you want through your spine, you can just find any mobilization that feels nice through your pelvis, through your back, through your ribs, your head, your neck. Just see what feels good. And again, see if you can just savor the simplicity of mobility. And then we'll curl our toes under, stretch back toward a child's pose, and open up the bottom of your feet really well. Spreading all those bones, maybe tap your heels and then pull them apart, and tap your heels and pull them apart. And then back up onto all fours. Give your tops of your feet a little bit of a tap on the ground. And then we'll stretch back to a child's pose and walk the hands far out in front of you. Maybe inch one side and then inch the other side. So we're stretching through our sides and our shoulders. And then settle into the fullness of your child's pose. Walk the hands over to one side, so we're stretching through your ribs, through your shoulders, through your side body. Release tension in your neck and breathe. And then walk them over to the other side, feeling some length and space and breath. And come back to neutral, come up onto all fours. Take your left leg straight back behind you. Curl your toes under, so stretch your calf open a little bit. And then we'll cross that leg over to the right and turn and look at your right foot. So we're stretching through the side body again, but maybe a little bit more accentuated in your hip and your side waist. Big breath here. And then come back to center, put that knee onto the ground, switch sides, right foot straight back, curl the toe under, let the calf open, and then cross that foot over and turn and look at your foot. Breathing deeply, feel that stretch through your side waist, your low back perhaps, and then come back to center. Wiggle around in your spine one more time, release that, and then we'll find our twist. Arm up in the air, either one, you decide which way you want to go first. Exhale and slide that shoulder under, twisting to the side. Breathing well. And then face the ground, let the shoulders stretch a little bit more. So chest faces the ground, hips back toward a child's pose. Keep that arm under you, opening up your shoulder. And then inhale, bring that arm back up in the air, hand down onto the ground. We'll switch sides. Arm up, drop it under for a twist. Press your other hand into the ground, deepen the twist. Keep your neck neutral and soft. And then face the ground, hips back toward the heels, stretching through your shoulder. Remember to savor the simple things that feel good. Anything that feels good, pose by pose. See if you can hone in on the joy of being in your body. Inhale, reach that arm back up in the air. Hand down onto the ground, and we'll find our way to a full dog pose. So take some time here. Feel your hands find the ground. Feel your feet find the ground. Take a little time to pedal your feet if you'd like to. Dropping one heel and then the other, just getting some mobility in your calves, your ankles, all the way up to your sit bones. Again, noticing sensation, savoring what feels good. How's your breath? Full deep inhales, full deep exhales. Remember, this is an embodiment practice. We're trying to stay here now. Keep your mind right inside what's happening. And then when you're ready, walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Grab some blocks. Put your hands on the blocks and come to a halfway lift, and we'll pedal our feet here. So bend one knee, lift the heel up, and then stretch the opposite hip way back, and just go back and forth in this way, letting your hamstrings open, your outer hips perhaps, your glutes. There's a lot of opening. Maybe you feel this in the feet. And then pause in a half lift. Spread open the bones of your feet. Feel the sit bones lift high. Lengthen your heart forward. And then on your exhale, melt, fold, bend your knees as much as you want. Let your head relax. Grab onto the base of your skull. A little bit of a tug. Feel the paraspinal muscles open up. Chin toward chest. And then drop your seat. Inhale, lift all the way up, arms to the sky. Find your breath. And let's reach like we did on the ground, kind of stretching one side, stretching the other side, just opening up the sides of your body. And then let's cactus, open your chest, spread your wings. Exhale, round in, chin to chest. One more time. Arms up, a little bit of a back bend, stretch to a cactus. Exhale, round in. Grab your fists in front of you and press your fists forward. And rise up, bring the arms to the sky. Tip back, a little bit of a back bend here. Stretch open through your spine. And then release your hands. Give your hands a little bit of a shake. Interlace your fingers behind your back or use a strap. If you need to, open up through your shoulders and we'll come forward to an Uttanasana, stretching the fronts of our shoulders. Relax your head. Enjoy the whole spine opening. Can you feel this from your crown to your tail? All right, and then release the strap if you're holding. Release your hands if you're holding. Find a halfway lift. Opening up through the heart, sit bones get high. Exhale, release again. Neck is soft. Step back to a dog. Maybe your non-dominant foot back. Feel that ground. Let's take our feet a little wider. As you ground into the edges of your mat with your feet, can you feel your breath travel through your belly, your pelvis? Put your feet back to neutral territory and we'll come forward into a plank. As you feel your strength, push the ground away, full hands, drop your shoulders away from the ears, integrate, breathing well. And we'll put our knees down, find the ground, roll the shoulders. Feel any freedom that you want to kind of cultivate in those shoulder blades. And then inhale for a cobra pose. Enjoy the back bend. When you exhale, release to come back down. Again, rising up on the in-breath and melting back down on the out-breath. One more time. You can take your arms a different way if you'd like. Up onto all fours. Give your spine a good wiggle. Are you noticing that you're loosening up, that things are getting a little more free? Back to a child's pose. Stretch open through your spine. We're going to do a couple rounds of child pose movement for our back. So come up onto all fours, lift the tail high, and come back to a child's pose. Feel that compression in the hips. And then back up to all fours, tuck the tail, round back with a rounded spine. Notice the freedom in the hips and the stretch through the back. Changing directions one more time. Back to all fours, lift the tail, anterior tilt to the pelvis, back to a child's. One more time. Up you go, tuck tail, back to a child's. Coming back up to all fours, curl the toes under, Lift to a full dog pose. Pedal your feet. Find some movement. Enjoy what you're feeling. And then we'll walk our feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Inhale for a halfway lift again. Melt to fold. Push through the feet, rising up. Trace down through the center. Pause here. Let's stand in Tadasana for a moment. Bring your hands down next to your sides and just notice how much more embodied you are in your mind body experience, in your sensation of your body, in the connection to your breath, present moment. Find your breathing. Notice the four corners of your feet. See if you can balance well through your feet. Come up onto our toes. Bring the arms up. Just notice what it feels like to balance up on your toes. And then exhale and come back down. Fold forward. A halfway lift. Opening up through your spine. Release. Step your left foot back, find a lunge here. Ground yourself. Let's place some hands on blocks so you have some height underneath your arms to give your length in your spine. Feel that length in your spine. And then we'll start to move, bending and straightening through the front leg. How's your breath? All right, ground yourself in your lunge and place your back knee down on the ground for a moment. Get a little fuller in that hip flexor stretch. Maybe your front foot inches forward just a little bit more. Maybe your hands climb up onto blocks or even onto your knees. So we get that fullness of the hip flexor stretch here. Stabilize with your core. So we're drawing our pubic bone up. Reach the left arm up in the air. First, find extension and then find a twist. Forearm or hand or elbow to your knee. Maybe your other hand's on your thigh to give you a lift. Widen through your collarbones. Stay stable through your legs. So we're not falling, but we're pressing into the earth. Find breath. Okay, coming back to neutral. Let's lift our back knee up off the ground, finding a full lunge. One more time, bend your knee and straighten your leg. Lift your toes, draw your chin toward your chest. And we'll ground into our lunge, push through your feet, rising up, crescent lunge. As you reach your arms to the sky, feel that extension, lifting up through your heart. And let's twist to the right. Drop your shoulders, hug to the midline. Full breaths. We're going to turn open that twist, take wide legs, and come into Pasrita. So just drop your head down. Legs are straight, wide-legged stance. Open up through the hamstrings a bit here. Bobble your head if you'd like. Notice if there's any tension in your neck. See if you can release. And then we'll turn back to the front of our mat. Walk your back foot forward. Come to Uttanasana. A halfway lift. Melting to fold again. We'll do some movement here. Come into a chair pose. Reach the arms up. We're going to come up onto our toes. And don't worry if you don't get very far. Just be where you are. Exhale. Hands to your heart, chair pose. Okay. All right, we're going to do a little bit more movement. So one more time, up Onto the toes. Exhale, heels down, arms back. Inhale up. Chair pose one more time. And you can decide hands to your heart, or maybe your arms are overhead, or maybe they're out to the sides or down. You choose. Are you even weighted through your feet? Press into the ground like you want to stand up. Okay, and then we'll actually stand on our regular feet, not toes, reaching the arms, folding forward. A halfway lift. Melting again. Let's step our other foot back. So now our left is in front, our right is behind. Okay. Find your ground, find your lunge, and we'll start to move when we're ready. Okay. Bending, straightening with breath. Okay, so find the rhythm that works for you. Move slowly. Notice what you're noticing. Keep your hips square. All right, and then we'll place the back knee down onto the ground. Hands can start on blocks, and then you can start climbing up a little higher if you'd like, maybe higher blocks, maybe hands on your knee, but we're not falling. We're pressing the front foot, hugging front heel and back knee toward each other. Then reach your arm up. Feel that extension. And we'll find our way to a twist on this side. Forearm, elbow, or hand, your choice. Your shoulders are down. Open your collarbones. Hug to the midline with your legs. Breathe well. And coming back to neutral with your legs. Lift your back knee up off the ground. One more straight leg. Tuck your chin. Square your hips. Lift your toes. And then we'll find our way to a full lunge. Ground and lift your arms. Find your crescent lunge. Press into the earth. Rise up out of your legs. Melt through the base of the skull. And then when you feel ready, we'll twist left. Drop the shoulders. Lift through your heart. Lift through your crown. Stay steady with your legs. Find the midline. Press into the earth. And this time when we roll open to some sideways stance on our mat, turn your toes out and come to a deep, slow squat. Elbows inside your knees. Opening up the inner thighs. Lengthen your heart forward. Okay. And then we'll turn back toward the front of your mat. Dog pose. Round through your feet. Spread the bones. Hands and feet push, yield, and then push. When you feel ready, we'll come forward into a plank. Holding yourself steady here. Find the ground. Take your legs wide, your arms wide, and lift everything up off the ground. Just find that full back body pose. Exhale, put your hands underneath your head. Pick up your feet and rock your feet left and right. right, come up onto all fours, moving around in your spine. And then we're going to come up onto our shins. And you can turn sideways on your mat if you feel like you need your mat for this pose. We're going to take a gate pose. So right shin onto the ground, left foot on the earth, left leg is straight. Your toes may not touch the ground. You can put a block underneath them if you need. Try not to hike the hip out, but keep that right hip hugging in and press your right shin down onto the ground. Reach the right arm up. Let's slide open to that side body stretch here. Keep your neck neutral. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. Feel the groundedness of your legs. So push your shin. Externally rotate that left leg. Let the femur bone open up. And then come back to neutral. We'll switch sides. Take the left shin on the ground, right foot comes out. You can always put your right toes on a block if you need. Inhale, lift that left arm up. Feel extension through the whole side of your body and then up and over. So try not to think downward, coming up and over. Press your shin to support you. Tail releases toward the ground. The right leg is externally rotating. How's your breath? Relax the base of your skull. And then release that and put your shins onto the ground. Find a child's pose. Release any tension through your neck. We're going to find our way to standing if you're sideways on your mat. Maybe dog pose isn't the right way for you to transition. So however you want to get up, we're going to come to a wide-legged stance on your mat. And so as we find those wide legs, take a standing star, reach big and wide, and feel how expansive you are. And turn your toes out. We'll move through some goddess postures. Drop down, open up, and inhale, coming back to stand. And you can do any variation with your arms that feels good to you. Move slowly with your breath. So as you exhale, we're coming down. And as you inhale, coming back up. One more time. And we're going to stay here in this wide-legged stance. Open up through your chest. Maybe your palms are together. Maybe your hands are down. Your choice. Ground into the four corners of your feet and keep lifting the heart. Try not to lean forward. And if you're able, reach the arms up to the sky. Pulse a few times through your legs. And then a standing star again. Relax your arms down. Turn your right foot out. We'll do a couple of externally rotated standing poses. Grab a block for a triangle pose. If you need it, you can always put your hand on your leg. Reverse your triangle pose first. Just feel that reaching through your side. And then keeping your legs straight, extend and bring the hand to rest on the block or on your leg. Stay deeply connected to the back leg. Keep the spine long. Sometimes depth is counterproductive in this pose. So think about maybe climbing higher on your leg instead of forget the goal of putting your hand on the ground. And then from here, bend your knee. Maybe your hand stays on the block. Maybe your elbow comes up onto your knees. Your choice of how you find Parsvakonasana. Stretching through that whole side, ground your foot and reach into your side body long. And then we'll come out of the posture and turn our feet to the left. So left toes are pointing to the short edge of your mat. Right foot can be straight or turned in, your choice of how you go. Let's start with a reverse triangle pose. So we're stretching through that side of your body and then lengthen over your leg and bring the hand to rest on leg or block. And again, think less about depth and more about space. Root into your feet well so you're structurally sound, you're supported. Move your tail long away from your head. This pose can be a lot for your SI joints, so sometimes climbing up a little higher on your leg can be a much safer option for your sacrum. Root into your feet well. Allow that left femur bone to nestle into the hip joint. All right. And then we'll bend your knee. You can keep your hand on your block if you'd like, or you can put your elbow on top of your knee. Stretch your other arm overhead, Parsvakonasana. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Turn your chest open up. Turn your navel. See what it feels like to try to lengthen through your side. Stay grounded through all the parts of your feet. Can you feel them and spread them and root them? How's your breath? And then we'll come back up to stand. Wide-legged stance one more time. A standing star. Find your breath. And then release your hands. Let's heel toe your feet. Come to step forward. And we're going to come down onto our knees. We're going to come into a Vasisthasana. So you can do this with your hand on the ground. You can do this if your wrists are not happy. You can do it with a forearm instead. Okay, remember, you can have your shin parallel or perpendicular. Today I'm going to do the perpendicular variation, but you do you. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Feel rooted in that hand on the ground. Open up, turn the eye of the elbow, drop the shoulder blade down the back. Keep your foot on the ground to begin and stretch your arm overhead. One more time, this long, full side body stretch from fingers to foot. And then back up, and let's lift your legs up off the ground. Okay, so feeling that strength in your outer hip. Find your breath. Stabilize through your core. And then we'll release that foot and knee on the ground. Come up onto your shins, give your hands a shake, and we'll find the other side. Hand, knee, and foot line up on the same plane. You can always have some different supports here. Maybe your shin wants to be parallel. Maybe you're going to keep your foot on the ground and not lift it. Maybe this is uncomfortable for you and a forearm on a block is a better variation. If you're doing that, your shin needs to go further back. All right, so you do you. Find the way that works for your body. Drop your shoulder away from the ear. And let's first just start with our hands straight up. 12 and 6 o'clock with the arms. Shoulder blades down. Press the shin. And then stretch your arm overhead and just feel that nice, beautiful whole side body length. Reaching into space. And then we'll take our hand up, stabilize, press into the shin, press into the hand, and lift that leg up in the air. Find your core. Lots of work in the outer hips here. Breathing deeply. And then we'll release that and come to find child's pose to settle yourself back down. Open up through your back. Give yourself a little wiggle if you need. Breathing deeply. And we're going to find some symmetry through our pelvis now. So come onto your back. And we'll come to a full bridge. So root your feet down well before you lift up. Find the ground. Okay. And then when you're ready, lift up your chest, climb onto the tops of the shoulders, root the four corners of your feet, open up through your heart. Enjoy the bit of back bend that's here. Hug on to your bones with your muscles all around your glutes and your legs. Big belly breaths. And then we'll find our way down under your shoulders. Let them rest on the ground. And windshield wiper your knees left and right. Right. You can stay on your back if you'd like to do a reverse pigeon, or if you're in the mood for a full pigeon, we'll come forward and grab whatever props you need for a pigeon pose. Okay. Right leg is in front first. Your choice, reverse pigeon or regular pigeon pose. Squaring up the hips, feeling that length in your body. Remember to stretch upward first before sliding forward to a sleeping pigeon. If you're on your back, rest your head on the ground. Just find your way into this pose. Square hips, wide sit bones, long, long spine. Enjoy the melt. Something can get free here. See what it is and let it go. Perfect. So whenever you're feeling ready to change sides, and you always remember this is one of the main joys of doing yoga at home is that you can go traveling down a different path. If something happens in your body where you're like, oh, I really need this, then just keep doing that and stay there or go deeper there, kind of follow that path and ignore me for a little while. There's nothing that I can guide you in that if you need to override, there's nothing that I say that's more important than your body ever. Okay, so the joy of an embodied practice is getting to know yourself so well to know exactly what it is that you need for well-being in your postures, but also just in your life. Okay, getting to know yourself really well, what your needs are, and then honoring that. Sometimes it's hard to just figure it out. Other times you know it, but it's hard to honor it. So Stay with yourself. Find your pose, square hips, wide sit bones, long spine. Melt into the breath. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the base of the skull relaxed, even the hands. And we'll come up out of that posture. We'll come on to our back and grab your strap. Right, 2 legs in the strap. Straight up in the air, nice and neutral through the pelvis. Lengthen through your spine. Let your femur bones draw away from your head. Flex your toes, heels up. Take the left foot onto the ground or left leg onto the ground. Let's cross the right leg over to the left. Maybe the heel of your hand can press into the hip crease. You're opening up that outer hip. And then that leg straight up in the air again. And we'll switch sides. Right leg on the ground or right foot on the ground. And we'll take the strap into the right hand, cross the left leg over to the right. Outer hip stretch. Find your breath. And then lift that leg straight back up in the air. One more time, 2 feet into the strap. And then we'll release the strap. Grab onto the feet for a happy baby pose. A little rocking if you want, stillness if you want. And let your back open up. And then we'll open up the legs, if you'd like, to a V. Bring your feet back and knees to chest, and then feet on the ground. Simple twist. Lift your hips, scoot them to the right, knees that come up, drop left, twist the spine open. Turn your head all the way if it's comfy. Full breaths. Full inhale. Full exhale. Okay, coming back up, shift your hips to the left. Knees come up and drop them to the right. Twisting open. Full full breaths here. And then come back to center and find your way to Shavasana. If there's anything that you need before Shavasana, do that. See if you can let your body fully relax once you get to the position you're going to be in with whatever props you need. See what you can do to melt your body fully. Relax and sink your bones. Find yourself inside your breath again and again. Begin to deepen breathing. Find any movement that will bring you back to your body. If you lost sight of it, when you feel ready, find your way to your side, taking your time. Eventually coming up to a comfortable seat. When you feel ready, bring your hands together at your heart. Let's offer the gifts of our practice outward. Share your energy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.